Okay, guys, so let's discuss a few of the supplies that you need to, tea stain our flowers and some fabrics and our paper. Okay, so you can see I just randomly pulled out some different types of papers: watercolor, mixed media paper, handmade papers, scrapbook papers, pieces that I have painted on that I didn't know what I really wanted to do with, some blank pages. So you just want to, I've got two different stacks, and this is going to be one stack. This is going to be the second stack. It may not look like there's much there, but we still have to apply, stick our flowers in, the leaves in, and it's going to get bulkier over time the more that we add. So that's the reason why I have a good amount here. Even some handmade papers are going to be stuck in there. I've got some twine, I've got some rusty metal, and then I've got some ribbons and a piece of scrap material that I'm going to use to bind it. And then I also have a piece of vintage, it's an old skirt that had a lot of stains on it. I'm going to take a piece of this and I'm going to wrap my bundle with it. Okay, so, and some scissors. Then, and of course, whatever flowers you're going to use. So let me stop right here, and then I need to get my flowers. Okay, so I want to show you really quick. I have some different color of hues of flowers. I've got different types, leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to keep my video running because, of course, this will take up a lot of the space. I'm just going to randomly stick them throughout the book, okay, wherever I want to. Now, I find that sometimes these oranges are amazing in colors. Sometimes the peaches, come through. Sometimes they're real subtle. It's a hit and miss just depending on, the type of flower it is, how much pigment is in the flower. Same thing with the leaves. So to me, that's the fun part of it. It's an experiment. It's not about... it has to be perfect. So, and then I'm going to randomly stick some metal pieces in there. These, my husband used to, he grew up on a farm. So I think he called these rebar ties for fencing. So, and just random pieces. I'm going to split up between the two books. I'm going to stick them in there. That's going to help also give more of a rusty old look. And also, I forgot to tell you that I pulled out some cardboard. Okay, so let me do one of them. I'll come back and I'll show you. Okay, so here's my first bundle. And it's crammed in there. I mean, I've got so much stuff, and I've got it tied somewhat with a piece of twine, but it's not real sturdy. No big surprise there. But this isn't, I'm going to take that piece of fabric and I'm going to wrap this around too. So that'll help even hold it in there a little bit better. But I didn't do the best job with wrapping. I'm not worried. Generally, I usually have to cut this twine off is what happens. It gets so knotted. But anywho, okay, so let me stop. I'm going to do my next one, and I'm going to cram that one full of flowers and leaves. Okay, so my second bundle is all done. Okay, and it's got flowers and leaves and everything crammed in there. And smells yummy. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is you can see that I wrapped my bundle. This is going to help keep the leaves and the flowers and any little pieces of paper from floating out. So I took a piece and I just take a safety pin, and I do that. I take, oops, gotta make sure I got enough at this end too. I'm just gonna wrap it. It's gonna make it all nice and secure so nothing falls out. Okay, it's like a little Christmas present waiting to be unwrapped. And I forgot to add my little pieces, but I'll just stick them right there. Totally forgot about that. I had some fabric that I was going to wrap around some of the pages, but not a problem. Okay, so now I have some pieces of rusty metal that can, sometimes I put that between the pages, which totally spaced that one out too. And I'm not unwrapping just to do that. No. I'll just tuck that right in there so that doesn't come out. Tuck this one over here. Okay. Sweet. I'll stick this since I forgot to put this one too. Kind of tuck that in there. I can even do that. And then for this one, because I forgot this, maybe I could tuck this in here, and then I'll just pin this, and that way that secures that one. Okay, so now my bundles are ready. Awesome. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out the material, the supplies I need for tea staining these bundles. Okay, I'll be right back. We're now ready to move on to the tea staining process. So how I have a pot that I had used for canning years ago, and I designated it now to my studio. I generally fill this with about 3/4 of water. Okay, you can see from different batches I've done. So it's really a preference thing of what you want to use. I change it up all the time. So I'm just showing you the process of how I created the pages that you saw in my post. I used Earl Grey. Okay, I used a smidgen of turmeric powder. Now, when I say a smidgen, I mean like not even an eighth. I mean, it was just basically teeny tiny, like grabbing a little bit of salt, you know, and you're seasoning your pot. The reason for me personally is this is a little bit overpowering for me, for my taste. I find that when I add too much of this, that overpowers all the other colors. So it's going to be a preference thing of how much you want to add. I've had to learn through experience of experimenting time and time again. I started with way too much, and now I've worked my way down to the amount that I'd like. So I use Earl Grey, and I tend to probably put maybe about 4 packs in here. That's just, I don't know, that's just what I do. Now, for the process that I did on the pages that you guys, on the post, what I did is I wanted to experiment to see if I threw a little bit of this Rit dye, Pearl Gray in there, it's used for fabrics, what would happen? Now, for me personally, I like the achievement I got. I also have, you know, teal. I've tried different ones, you know, over the years and everything. So it was just basically anytime that I sit down and I want to do up a batch, I like to change it up. I'll pick up pigment powders. I'll try anything just to see what kind of result I can get, because you never know. That might be that one that just is like, you know, you fall in love with. Okay. So what I do is I fill it with water, put my tea bags in, put my turmeric powder in, and then I put just a little bit of this, you know, again, how much is going to be a preference thing. You're going to have to experiment. I let this boil. I mean, it can be anywhere from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. You know, I don't put a timer on it. It's just whenever I feel like, yeah, it's long enough. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Then from that point, what I'm doing is, let's talk about safety. I personally take mine outside to boil on my grill. I don't then have to worry about anything being in the house, you know, fumes, even though these, except for this, are pretty much, you know, we use these in our cooking, things like that. You know, you get it. But I just always feel like safety is very important. And so I sit outside and put it on the grill. And then I also will allow it to stay on the grill to cool down. Okay. It just keeps it out of the house. Not a problem if you want to do it in the house. But again, you know, safety, you know, you want to wear tennis shoes, hard shoes, you know, something in case any, when it bubbles, you know, when it boils, it doesn't splatter on you. If you are sensitive to smells and everything, I would recommend a mask. Being outdoors helps even better. Let's see, anything else? You know, anything that you're using to create this process, you want to designate it for your studio art. So my utensils, all of this has been designated so it doesn't cross-contaminate food, okay? Then I also have a separate pan, disposable pan, that once I'm done with this, I will take my utensils, grab my my bundle, and then I put it in here and let it sit overnight. Okay. So I'm not going to walk you through, you guys watching me fill up with water, watching it boil. You will get the gist of it, okay? So once it's filled up with water, I've got all my elements in there. It's been boiling for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. I take my bundle and I put my bundle in there, okay? And then I let it sit there. I don't know. It could be, you know, 10 minutes. It could be 30. It could be an hour. It's just, I go by just how I feel. What I have found is that the longer it's in the bath of water with all these elements in there, that the stronger the color becomes, okay? Sometimes I have found I can go like a couple hours letting it be in there and it's perfectly fine. Another batch I could do the same thing and I feel like as if I've lost a lot of the pigment colors that were in the flowers, so I didn't get the results transferring to the paper or fabric the way that I wanted to. I think a lot of times it's just one of those things where it's just trial and error, okay? So I don't know. I mean, I wish I could tell you I'm not an expert on this. You're going to have to experiment. I mean, different flowers create different type of pigments. How much pigment is in there? You know, what you're choosing to use. If you use too much, does it overpower all the other colors and just becomes one color scheme? I don't know. Okay. Once I have done both bundles, because once I'm done with one, I transfer it over to here. Okay. Then I do my next one, okay? Then from there, I let my bundles sit for generally overnight. Sometimes they've gone a couple days. It just depends my work schedule, different things like that. If I'm in my studio painting, I don't want to stop, things like that. From that point, I then untie the bundle and I lay out all my papers. And from that point, then I get to see how everything turned out. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to create my bundles. When you come back, you're going to see me do just a short little video on, you know, all the paper spread out and what was the results from it. Okay. Okay, guys, here is my pages. Lots of them. I'm going to do some close-ups. They're still drying. Let me turn some. It's windy and rainy here, so I had to put these in a back room. There is so much. I mean, like this one right here. Oh my gosh. Yikes. They're just so yummy. And they go on and on. I'm running out of room. I had to put some. I didn't have a big enough plastic. Let me step over. Sorry for keep turning the camera. There is just so many pages. The green ones didn't take this time as much as I thought that they were. That was interesting. Just so much yumminess. Excuse me for the shadows, but again, like I say, I'm in a back room. To just place these down. The lighting's not the best back here. I am going to do some photos, close-ups that I'll put on my Instagram page. So if you guys want to check those out, there is just so much yumminess. Like this one right here, sweet, love, love, love. And like this one, those were the pages that I had already painted like previously and never did anything with them. So I just included them in there. So trying to get some close-ups here, but there's just so many. Like, look at that green. That is so cool. Okay, guys, I know, like I said, check out my Instagram page. You'll be able to see some close-ups. And I hope that you guys enjoy the process as much as I did. Okay, thanks. I wanted to show you guys, all the papers turned out amazing, of course, as you can see, but there's some that are, oh my gosh, they're just breathtaking to me, and they're some of my favorites. How sweet is that? And I don't know if the colors are coming across the way that they're actually, oh my gosh, they're just amazing. Look at that. That is so cool. That's not including, you know, the back sides of these, okay? And then, like, look at that one. And see, like, look at these. I mean, jeez. Look at how these come across. And as I said before, you know, the back sides are just as interesting, too. This is really cool. This was on the green paper. And this is just, oh... It's got kind of like a purple tone. It's got some greens in it, some browns. This is really cool too. How sweet is that? And then you got the back sides. Some of the green papers just really came out so well. And then there's that. Oh, I love this one. Pretty much every one that I see, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that one. That's my new favorite one. And then there's that. And of course, that was one of those papers that I had painted. And then I threw that in there. Here's those. I just grabbed out some that just really, you know, look at the leaves in that were just, oh, I love them all. But there's some that just make me kind of gasp. And it's like, wow, look at that. That is so cool. There's that. Remember, that was that handmade paper, and it dyed onto the paper. Some more of those. These, just yummy. So I just pulled out a handful that I wanted to show you guys that just really, every time I look at them, I just, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to use them. You know, some papers with the flowers came out with just detail like you wouldn't believe, and others were more of like a ghost image. Here's these. Here's those. Oh my gosh, look at that. Just yummy. I found with this batch that some of the roses really took well. Where sometimes roses for me are hit and miss. Oh, wow, look at this one. Oh, my gosh, that is so yummy. Let me just show you guys a couple more. That's my favorites. That was just scrapbook paper. How sweet is that, huh? And then this was a paper that I had painted. But see, because of it tea staining and the elements I used in it. See, one side, oops, one side looks like this of the tag. And the other side's that. How sweet is that? And then this is one of my favorites. It happened to be a manila folder, actually, is what it was. And I tore it down. And I had used it as scrap paper. So that's why you see writing and different types of things. And then on top of it, doing the tea bath. How sweet is that one? Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you guys have fun with the process. And until I see you again, bye.